What's up, guys? Welcome. This is Momentum number 139. Welcome to Sunday session. Excited to have you guys here. Going to keep this one short and sweet today. This is day 139 in a row. 139 coming live. And I know it's a little late. It's 9:30. Wrapping up today. So if I couldn't come super early, come on early today, I figured, hey, why not come on late tonight? So it's a crazy week. Guys, hopefully you watched yesterday's episode of the recap and the $100,000 tip going and getting deals on the MLS. If you missed that one, go back and watch. That was yesterday, just like 15 minutes or so. You could probably skip to the good stuff, but ultimately take advantage of that. I don't think there's enough people out there. A lot of people talk about cold calling. Obviously, we talk about cold calling a lot, but not many folks talk about going on the MLS and getting deals. Like, of course, there's more competition, but you can still etch your way into getting 2-3 contracts a month if you do it right. So it's funny because we bought another deal today on the MLS. So I know this stuff works. And if you guys would just implement it, I would love to see your feedback. If you've been doing it over the last couple of days, or if you did it today after we talked about it yesterday, I want to see you guys' feedback. Because I know, look, we can throw stuff against the wall and we can just do things and we can get results if we're willing to take the action. So again, early on, you don't have to have the perfect system. You can do these things and start getting some momentum in your business, man. Today was it was the first day that Cody, Pace, and I got back together. So we filmed 21 videos for the Zero to Hero REI challenge. So that the challenge is already complete. We're just completing all the, videos for the beginning, welcoming, hey, here's a recap for the day, all the things. We finished today, 21 videos. So that's going to be dropping August 16th. Can't wait to share that with you guys. If you missed out on the live recordings, which it was just to an exclusive group anyways, you can get access to the recordings on August 16th by going to zerotoherorei.com. What is Zero to Hero? We built a business from scratch. Literally nothing. No, never been in the market, never had any connections, never done a single deal. Brand new team, from starting with VAs that I've never talked to getting them started, getting leads generated, and getting contracts within 15 days. We ended up getting 4 contracts in 15 days. Crazy. In a place we never been, with people we never work with. So I promise you guys, if we can do it, you can do it too. And that's the purpose of this challenge. We literally show you step by step. There's a lot of people that teach like, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. But you get the raw, unedited stuff. Like literally it's us, primarily myself, and Cody's there most of the time as well, working on the business. Cody and I are working with each other. Like, hey, Cody, what's the login for this? Hey, Cody, what's this? And Cody's like reaching out to me, Matt, what do we do for that? Like literally the raw, candid, this is the real business, right? We didn't leave anything out. We didn't leave anything to your imagination to figure it out. Literally Zero to Hero is going to change everything on how we approach wholesaling. And I think the whole theme through the whole entire program was just simplicity. How simple it can be to start getting deals. And I think that's changed the paradigm for a lot of people, even within the sub-2 community. They're like, dude, I've been overthinking this. Here's exactly what I need to do. So guys, if you haven't already, go to zerotoherorei.com. Join the waiting list. We're going to be releasing it to the first 100 people on the 16th because we're going to have a private exclusive text community so you guys can ask questions. And then we're going to release it to the next 100, just like that, 100 at a time. So that's going to be super cool. After we finished that, so that was this morning. We ended up filming for like almost 6 hours. Came back, hung out with my 1-year-old for a little bit. Wife went to the gym. We watched Blue's Clues and we played outside on the splash pad we had. So today was a freaking win. But as always, guys, Sunday session is the day where we look at the Smart Week. Hopefully you watched last Sunday session and got the Smart Week questions and you started getting traction in areas that maybe need your attention. One of my big things last week, you guys remember, was I wanted to hire an executive assistant before the next week. So guess what I did? I freaking hired an assistant this week. And I met with her today and gave her a rough idea of what her job is going to look like. So I did it. I got the main thing, the big domino that I wanted to address. I got it done this week, as well as I set up some systems that probably took me way too much time, freaking way too much time. What I realized was when you give yourself 30 days to do something, guess how long it's going to take? It's going to take 30 days. If you give yourself 60 days, 90 days to do something, guess how long it's going to take? 60 days, 90 days. If you give yourself an hour and a half to do something, it's going to take you an hour and a half. And I realized that in the Zero to Hero challenge, and it just rings true with this. Like, this is a person I should have hired a very long time ago. It's actually something I talked about at a mastermind in early May. So it's taking me, 30, 60, a little over 60 days to make this happen. So it's a big step. I'm just happy I finally got it done, even though it's taking me longer than what I wanted. But I'm very aware of that, right? So guys, I only know this stuff because I write the crap down. As archaic as it may sound, I write and I journal so I can make sure that I accomplish the things that I need to accomplish. So that was my big domino this past week. And then coming up, I have basically fixed my entire, I call it quote unquote monkey management system. If you guys know me, you watch any of my videos, you know this book, The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. And I have a tough time saying no to things. I typically say yes. Try to be the everything to everyone. So then you become the no one to anybody, right? I don't think that's in this book, and I just kind of made that up, but it's the truth. If you say yes to everything, you're saying no to the things that really matter. So this book is very simple. Like, you guys can look at these margins, like super easy read, but very impactful in the way that you should handle your business, handle your time. Stop taking other people's problems. So it's taken me, again, way longer than I wanted, but I remember in early May, I wrote it down, like in the next 60 to 90 days, I want to have a complete monkey management system where everything is delegated to a place where I know these things are getting done, and I can just check to make sure these things are getting done. And in this book, you guys are like, what in the hell is a monkey? Monkey is considered your next move. Okay. It's considered the next move. It's the next thing. So some key questions that I asked our sales team and our other VAs is, rate the department 1 to 10. Like, how can we improve? I think it's a 7. Okay, great. Well, how do we bridge the gap? Well, I think we can do this better and that better. Great. What's your goals for the week? I want to do this. Perfect. Well, how can we accomplish this? How can we bridge that gap and accomplish your goals? Well, I think we should do this and think we should do that. Perfect. Then that's your job for this week. That's your next move. It's not my move, right? If you're unable to accomplish your next move, you're unable to handle your monkey, then you find support within the team. That's not my job. That's what you're getting paid to do. Okay. So that was really huge. And this week I finally have it figured out, and I have everything set in place. So that way my assistant can help me and can be in these meetings to make sure the monkeys are being handled. So one of really cool questions that we got during the Zero to Hero challenge, we did Q&As on Saturdays, and a really cool question that we got, and I was just reminded of it today, and I was like, this is a perfect thing to talk about on this live, was the funny thing is, like, as we went through the challenge, we did a Q&A every single Saturday. Okay. So the first week, as we're going through the business, like, again, during the Zero to Hero, we weren't answering any questions. We had some people watching us, but we weren't answering questions. We reserved that to a specific time because we needed to get work done, right? So come Saturday, it was an exclusive Q&A. In the first week, we had like 70 questions. And of the 70 questions, it was really like 10 unique questions, because most of them were just the same question rephrased different ways. But ultimately, we answered all their questions. The second week came along, and we had much less questions. Same thing, exclusive Q&A on a Saturday, much less questions. It was like maybe 4 unique questions. And then the third week came around, and we finished the challenge, and we had like 2 questions. Maybe it was 1. I don't know. Either way, we had 3 hours set aside to answer like 1 or 2 questions. Same amount of people came, way less questions. They just like came to hear what we had to say, I guess. But I thought that was very interesting, because literally, as we walk through step by step, you really shouldn't have any questions. It's all, we're showing you everything you need to know. And I just thought that was really cool. Like as we finished, there was like literally no questions. Like everyone was like, cool, I think we got it. But something that was unique that happened on the very last Q&A, someone asked me and Pace, like, how do we stay focused? How do we accomplish everything? Especially because like we were building Zero to Hero for 3 hours a day, but we also had other businesses we had to tend to. And I thought, between what Pace had to say and what I do to make sure I stay, on track, is I think maybe you guys can get some value from this. It really comes down to habits. I think some people are like, I got to have this perfect morning. I got to work out. I got to do all these things. Sure, you can do that. But ultimately, you just have to have a plan and stick to it. For me personally, I live and die off my calendar. So if it's on my calendar, it gets done. If it's not on my calendar, there's a good chance it's not getting done. So what I love doing is every single Sunday, just like today, set the calendar for the week. I see what we have to do, right? I have some non-negotiables on there, but I know here's a rough idea what the week should look like. And then every day, that night, so Monday, I'll go through my day. So Sunday, I know what Monday is going to look like. Monday will throw a bunch of stuff at me. And then Monday night, it's a non-negotiable that I have here in the house. So I'll come in here, I'll close the door in my office, and I'll plan out my next day. And I do that every single night without fail. Sometimes I'll fall asleep with a notebook in my hand. But it's important that I get it done. I set the time aside to make it happen. So that way, my next day is planned out. I got my calendar set. I'm ready for whatever's going to throw at me, because the chance that what happens to your plan typically, what happens to your best intentions typically, they get effed up. They always do. But typically every single night, not typically, but this is my habit. Every single night, I set the following day. I have my intentions. I have exactly what I want to get done. You guys know the smart week comes, and every single Sunday, when I plan my calendar for the week, I have my targets. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. Here's my big domino for the week. If I can accomplish this, I can be proud. I know if we can get this, then everything else will take care of itself or is irrelevant. So here's my one big domino for each business. Here's my domino for our wholesale business. Here's my domino for Start Virtual. Here's my domino for media, like all the things. And then I'll try to get that stuff done during the week. And then I'll review it the following week. What's my traction on it, right? So set the calendar for the week on a Sunday. Then every night I plan the following day. Am I making traction on my big dominoes that I had set for the week? Guys, this is very intentional stuff. Very intentional. If you just willy-nilly about it, you'll find yourself like so many, and myself have it many times, where my mind takes me all over. I'm doing busy work. Oh my gosh, someone has a problem. I'm going to solve that problem. Someone needs my help. Perfect. I'm going to go help them. And you look up and what did I actually accomplish today? Right? So being intentional is everything. Being intentional with, this is my boundaries. This is what has to happen today. And having to say no. And I say this with conviction because this is my biggest challenge. Is what I was telling you guys, is saying no to things because I want to help. But when I do that, I'm really saying no to the important things that need to get done that's on my calendar. And then I'm lying to myself, and I'm not being a good partner, and I'm not, being a man of my word. I have to do the things that are done here, and I have to be willing to say no to things, right? Cody calls it good, better, best. Good, better, best. That's a good opportunity, but is it the best use of my time? That's a good opportunity, but is that better than what I have now? Right? So I think one of the biggest challenges of business owners and entrepreneurs, we get that, that shiny object syndrome, right? Like, oh my gosh, this is a great opportunity over here. We can make some money here. Oh, this is a great business. We can do that. Or we should start focusing, like this happens in wholesale all the time. We should start focusing more on this. We should start talking to more probates. We should start doing pre-foreclosures. We should start focusing on JV. And your focus is all over the place. Okay. You got to be able to say good, better, best. What direction are we going? What are we really trying to do here? Okay. So be intentional when you're planning out your schedule for the week. Set time aside every single night to plan the next day. And you wake up with gratitude. You wake up excited. Obviously, you guys know I do my affirmations. I do it with my team as well. You guys know I talk about gratitude, attitude of gratitude. That's the first thing that goes in my journal. I journal my smart day. I take acknowledgement of things I love about my life. And that's my form of meditation. I don't sit here and zen out on the floor with my legs crossed and do that. Like, hey, if that's your thing, man, do it. Whatever makes you happy and gets you in peak state. But typically, that's what I do, right? I make time to exercise. That's not every morning, right? I'll fit that in the afternoons if I got to. Main thing for me is I just have to have something that's consistent. And if it's flexible, I won't get down on myself. If I stack the cards against me and I say, well, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. Lo and behold, one morning I accidentally sleep in a little too late. I don't have time to do some of these things that I had stacked up in the morning. I got to have this and this and this and this. And then I'll just feel terrible about myself. So instead, I live a life of inclusion of all the things and flexibility to say, hey, didn't have time to get my morning workout in today. Still got my affirmations. Still got my attitude of gratitude. Still did my journal, which is my form of meditation. Put myself in peak state. Great. I can work out around lunch. I can work out this afternoon. But ultimately, I have that flexibility to make it happen. So choose the things that are important to you. But I do know one thing. How you do anything is how you do everything. And one thing that I do regret over the last 2-3 years of trying to get this business going and then finally getting some success and just being obsessed with the success of the business, that I let my health really fall. But since the start of the year, that has changed. I've lost a little over 50 pounds. Still got a while to go. But ultimately, heading in the right direction. I was like, dude, started making money. And I'm like, why am I not happy? Why am I not fulfilled? Because I'm like, I don't know who the hell I'm looking at in the mirror. So ultimately, I can call myself out and say, yo, you need to be better. This is how you get better. How you do anything is how you do everything. So just be intentional, guys. You want to be more efficient. You want to have peak performance. You can read all the books, these atomic habits or, peak performance. I don't know, all these things. There's so many books out there about it. But you got to ask yourself, what do you care about? What do you care about? What brings you happiness? What brings you fulfillment? And do more of that. Spend more time looking inwardly to find those things. And typically I find that when I do my gratitude every single day and I start stacking my gratitude, this is what I'm grateful for. This is what I'm grateful for. I'm so happy that for all the things that I don't have to worry about. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to live this life that I live. I'm so grateful for this. Like, look, I know there's so many areas that I can improve, and that's what makes this stuff interesting. But ultimately, today, I am grateful. Today, I am joyful. I am excited because I am in control. Okay. So put yourself in that peak state. And I do that by bringing acknowledgement to these things every single morning. So whatever you got to do to make that happen, do it. But ultimately, these virtues are developed in the thing, like the doing of the thing. So if you want discipline, like, man, I'm just totally not disciplined. I don't know. I can't do anything in my life. I'm just totally not disciplined. Well, guess what you got to do? You got to do things that require discipline, right? Is it literally that? Man, I just don't have the patience to deal with people. Well, you got to do things that require patience, right? I totally can't keep on track. Like everything that I do, I just lack focus. I get so distracted. You got to do things that require focus. You should bring attention to these things and do things that require it. That is how you build the virtue. The virtues are built in the doing of the thing. Okay, guys? So Sunday session, thank you for coming and hanging out. Start implementing this into your life. Start implementing these things into your calendar, planning out your days, being intentional. Then every single week, decide what is the one thing. If you haven't gotten a single real estate deal yet and you're trying to get your business off the ground, what is the one thing that's going to get you closer to your first deal? Be honest, because reality is you already know the answer to your questions. You just got to do it. Okay? What is the one big domino you could do? It's going to get you closer to your goal, or it's going to move the needle for whatever business you're in. I don't know what you're in. I don't know what kind of relationships you have going on in your life. I don't know your life circumstances. What's the one thing you can do this week that can better that relationship that's hurting? What's the one thing you can do today that can increase the amount of money you have in your bank account? What's the one thing you can do this week that can mend that friendship that maybe you haven't worked on in a long time. Maybe you felt like you lost a friendship, or you haven't communicated to your significant other something important to you. What's the one thing you can do this week to build more meaningful relationships in your life? What's one thing you can do this week that can make you happier? Right? What's one thing you can do this week that can get you closer to your health and vitality goals? That is where you start. Bringing intention to these things, being very attentive to the areas that you want to work on, and then do the things that you know you need to work on. Because again, that is where it's developed. So guys, thanks for coming in and hanging out with me on Sunday service. Not even Sunday service. I was watching Pace earlier. Sunday session. It's been a ton of fun. If you get value from any of these videos, or if you just like coming and hanging out, head over to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe. We go live here every single day. We got some videos coming out this coming week. I'm actually walking a couple of our fix and flip projects, so I'm excited to drop those on the YouTube channel, as well as I have a video that I think you guys are going to get a ton of value from. It's our $1 million business blueprint, where I break down an entire $1 million real estate business. So I'm excited to share that with you guys too. So if you want to catch that when we drop it, YouTube, hit subscribe. You guys know the deal. Thanks for coming and hanging out on a Sunday night. Hope you guys have a wonderful one. Let's go crush this week, guys. We'll see you later. Peace.